ain't legal in Texas, y'all. No.
Oh man.
Hey, Chris, I hadn't got a chance to read your stuff yet, brother, but I will here, man. I've had a busy, but I'm gonna read that.
Yeah, no rush, man. No rush on that.
Yeah.
I just whenever I, with what I'm writing, I want it to impact people, and um, and I respect you guys, so I would like to have you guys' thoughts, and I want to see what your reaction to it is, because if it doesn't cause a reaction, then I don't want to write it. I don't want to publish it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, the point of this is to have a reaction to make a person think.
Yeah, it's in the group text. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in the group text. Yeah.
That was good, gents. That was good.
Yeah.
The questions are good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really good. And
Yeah.
I love it that we can have debate civilly. Everybody's opinion is different, and it is important, and that's okay.
Right.
It really.
I don't want to talk to anybody who don't got one.
That's right.
That's real talk.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm for real, like I want people to have opinions. I mean, if they agree with me, they agree with me. If not, then it allows me to think differently about mine, and maybe I might want to decide to change mine.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're so different. I mean, when you go get your fingerprints done, they can't say, well, you're so close like RPs. It ain't never like that. I have my own identification, the old way I think. You know what I mean? So I'm with Chris. We're supposed to think differently. And there's nothing wrong with it, encouraging or agreeing with each other either.
And no matter how hard you think, there's no way anyone could ever think exactly the same. Right. Because we all are literally living in a different space, a different time frame, a different reality, and different experiences. So we all experience life completely different. And it'd be really weird if actually somebody was exactly like you.
That's right.
That would be
right.
That would be weird.
When we speak on, as we always tend to fall back on childhood experiences, everything that you're saying, everybody's lived a different life. Parents were different, and school life was different. Girlfriends were different. Friends were different. So there's no way we are all unique in that regard.
100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, society wants us to be the same right now. The current administration wants us all to be the same, think the same, and be on the same path. And that's just not how the world rolls. That's not even how it rotates. You know what I mean?
That's right.
But I want to ask y'all a question. So, in school, right, when the teacher says there is no wrong question, did that make you more comfortable asking your question or less comfortable?
Way less comfortable because I knew if I really asked the questions I wanted to ask, I get made fun of.
Right. Yeah.
But they didn't create an environment to where you could. Yeah, they posed that question, but to everything that Chris said, they didn't. Their environment was not like, okay, well, give it to me so I can give you a constructive answer as to what you're gonna get made fun of. Maybe not by the teacher, but all your classmates gonna give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a inviting situation. But I do agree that you should ask any question, but I don't believe. I was along the same lines as Chris. I didn't feel comfortable because I didn't feel like it was a very positive situation to ask those questions.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. 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 That church is big, bro. I knew a church that my older kids grew up in, and man, I know several brothers who got kicked out of church. And me and Chris talked about this, where they literally got kicked out, and even Chris was like, they got kicked out of church. I'm like, yeah, because you don't question God. You know what I mean? You don't question the Bible. You know what I mean? And and here we are in 2026 saying you need to question everything,
You question everything.
everything.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And I will say, like, my mom, she grew up super religious. I mean, I grew up super religious. And my mom did grow up religious as well in the Pentecostal church, but not like me. It wasn't as strict. And but I understand why as I'm older now, I do understand why my mom did go that route and why she was affected by it so much, given her circumstance. And now in her older age, and I still continue to speak with my mom. I love my mom.
yeah,
The fact that she did that to church, like, me growing up and being strict with I can't have TV and like the
hmm,
certain clothes we couldn't wear and all that stuff. I'm actually very grateful. At the time, I fucking hated it
right,
because I was so different from the people at school. But not watching TV, it gave me a different mindset than a lot of people do our age, never being exposed to those things.
yeah,
But I do see my mom. She is starting to question things now. And now that I'm older, my mom has respect for me, and she's listened to things that I've been able to deconstruct the ideas that the church has taught me, and discovering things for myself and with God. And now she's finally starting to open up and changing her ways.
yeah, yeah. That's funny. You mentioned Pentecostal church. My dad grew up Pentecostal, and at the time, he was not allowed to play football.
There
and
we
and
go.
even to this day he still brings it up occasionally, like, hey, you never know what I could have been if I had that chance to play football. And matter of fact, my oldest kids, we grew up in a Pentecostal church too, you know what I mean, and fiery church. Matter of fact,
Mm.
I my pastor, my old pastor, he was a mentor to me. He just passed a couple years ago. um, but yeah, that Pentecostal church, that's something serious. It definitely is. And we had church 6 days, almost 7 days a week. Yeah, it didn't matter what time you got out of church. You know, it to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. If the fire was hot, the fire was hot.
Listen, stop that. Woo! You just
Yes,
going, going, going,
you
going.
go. You sweating, man. You done
Hmm.
lost 4 or 5 pounds in the church that day. You know.
Dude, man, I grew up on the platform. I've played drums for my church since I was 10 years old, all the
Hmm.
way until I left for the military.
Oh
Every
wow.
single day. So
Yeah.
like Sunday school, um, Sunday morning, Sunday school, I go to Sunday school after I would play the morning worship service.
Hmm.
And then I would have to leave Sunday school like 45 minutes early to go sit and play the ending closing stuff. I mean, I
Okay.
was on the platform every service. We
Yeah.
had Spanish service. I literally paid Saturday nights. We had Spanish service where all the Mexicans would come, and then we had a Mexican pastor that speaks Spanish,
Hmm.
and I'm sitting there playing the drums and this Mexican music. Don't know what they're saying, but I got the beat, man. I'm going.
That's what's
That
up.
was my experience growing up,
Yeah.
in church. Like, I
Yeah.
literally was not able to have my own thoughts. I remember when I first started growing facial hair. Not facial hair, but I was starting to grow sideburns.
Uh huh.
That's all I had. And I remember my sideburns got down to the bottom of my earlobe, and I got in trouble.
Did you really?
I got in
Oh
trouble.
wow.
And I was
Yeah.
so excited. It's like, oh, I'm growing hair. I feel like a man, They're like,
Yeah.
you got to shave
Yeah.
that off.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. No pants. Women didn't wear pants. Yeah.
Oh, I had to wear a suit and tie on the platform.
Mm.
And all my suit and ties, yeah.
What do you say, Corey? Ah, Bach. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. This what's up. Mm-hmm. Same stuff. Yeah. Same stuff. Abak. Yes, we did. Yeah.
What is
Was that
IBOC?
a
We was Usher. Yeah.
what's IBOX stand for?
Internet. There you go.
Pentecostal?
No. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, even though I grew up with all that religion, now as an adult, being able to deconstruct my beliefs and then rebuild from truth. And I don't have that fear anymore that the church taught me. And actually, in my opinion, the future is much brighter.
Yeah. 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 We're not ratchets.
That's right. That's right.
You know thyself. But yeah. So anything going on this week, brothers? Anything? What's today? Today is Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Got a couple more days to go to the end of the week. Anything going on?
I always got lots going on.
This work. Chris got a lot of stuff going on. Raw RP.
Yeah.
We got gymnastics and soccer coming up.
Yeah.
Wrestling tomorrow night.
Yeah. It was supposed to storm out here this weekend, so I'm looking forward to some movie nights. And that's something that big too. I grew up on. You know what I mean? I remember I tell my wife all the time, like Fridays and Saturdays, it's like our movie nights. You know what I mean? And it feels good.
Yeah.
I remember sitting with my parents, and my parents all hugged up on the couch, and me and my brother sitting down watching a movie, and it was just a peace. And not that it was chaos, but it was just a peaceful moment that I still enjoy to this day. And my wife knows I'm big on movies. I love just sitting down with the kids, hugged up, cuddling. You know what I'm saying? And just and what in movies now we call them investigations. We don't just watch them as entertainment. Like we look at movies in a different way. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you start learning certain things.
That's
You
right.
start
You
seeing
need to watch. Have you watched Begonia yet?
I haven't, but it's on
gotta
our
watch
list.
it. You gotta
It's
watch
on
it,
our
man.
list. Yeah, it's on our list. Have you really? It's a good one? Okay.
Begonia is wild. It's a great movie.
Yeah, they kidnap us. They kidnapped the CEO of a company or something like that, right?
Yeah.
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 That's what.
Another good movie, man. Since music was such a big topic in this podcast, I think you should also. You ever heard of August Rush?
I've heard the August Rush. Yeah.
Have you watched it? You'd love it.
Huh. Okay.
You would love it.
Okay.
It's has Robin Williams in it.
Oh, okay. That's an older movie, isn't it?
Yeah. It's an older movie.
Yeah. Okay.
It's about a little kid, music genius kid.
I think I've seen some of that. I think I might have seen it a while back, but I'm at the.
It's a little ooey gooey, but it's a good movie.
Right. Hey, all of us.
I love the ooey gooey stuff, man. So.
I do too, bro. I said all of us here, we watch chick flicks at least once a week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've seen The Notebook at least twice last week. You
But
know
Notebook's that's a great movie though.
Hey. Shh. Don't tell nobody.
I'd have a lot more money if I didn't spend it on women when I was younger.
Oh my goodness. The cheesier the better.
Now, I'll be honest with you, man. I used to love horror movies. I used to love them. When I was finally out of the church and I was 20 and I could watch my own stuff, I mean, I was addicted to horror movies. And now I actually am appalled by them.
Yes.
Whenever I watch them, like I actually get a feeling like it's evil. Like I feel evil. I feel like disgusting. I'm not saying like I'm not judging nothing. I'm just saying like I can't watch it no more.
No, I
Right.
feel the same way.
Yeah. 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 I believe in spells, curses, and spirits.
Yeah.
I do. I do.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, yeah, matter of fact, I remember Bone Thugs and Harmony back in the day. Y'all remember Bone Thugs and
Hmm.
Harmony? And
Yeah.
y'all remember their first CD. And Corey, I know Corey knew because Corey was about them CDs. Yeah. Yeah, but they had a CD case and you had to read it backwards in the mirror. But during a time period where witches were prevalent, in order for a witch to put a curse on you, she would write something backwards and it would intrigue you, to a point where you would read it backwards in the mirror and you would apply the curse to yourself. I mean, I'm even to a point where I don't buy welcome doormats. I mean, y'all remember the movie Sinners? Y'all seen Sinners? Y'all seen some of these
Mm-mm.
movies out here where you can't invite people? Like when you welcome somebody into your home, you don't know what you're welcoming. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? So that welcome mat it's like even the older movies we watched back in the day, vampires or certain beings could not come into your house unless you welcomed it into your house. They would just stand at your door. And the movie Sinners came out with Michael B. Jordan. He had a
Hmm.
twin brother in the movie. Well, it was about the same thing where these vampires were, killing people, and but you had to invite them into your establishment or into your home in order for them to do their deed. So I don't buy welcome mats, y'all. I don't
You
welcome.
know,
Yeah.
that's a crazy idea.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm a, something I've been thinking. Now we're on this topic of witchcraft. Um, now this is a theory I have, and it's wild. Um, but I think there is some evidence, and I'm looking for it, that the English language is actually much older than we think, and that it was the original spellcasting language, and that's why the English language is so confusing, and that it can. I mean, I like if you look at the words, the wordplay on how what things are called in the English language versus other language,
Yep.
sometimes don't even have words for how we speak, and we think this is just common tongue.
Right.
And I mean, it might even go back to King Solomon um, developing this language for, it could be way past that. I have no idea. Um, but I think there's something to it, especially with the Anglo Saxons. And there's some things that I think has been erased from history or locked up that we don't know about.
Hmm. Yeah. I
What do you guys think about that?
I
Very
agree with
possible.
you on that. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because also, like, the English language compared to other languages, it's one language it's so easy to manipulate somebody
Yeah.
with.
It's bastardized. It's a bastardized language. You know what I mean? And so yeah, and matter of fact, when you start looking into Aleister Crowley, you ever heard of Aleister Crowley? He
Yeah.
was considered the most wicked man in the world in 1966 by the British magazine. Matter of fact, I think some people even state that he was the great grandfather to George Bush.
Mm.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
I have heard that.
but yeah, when you start looking into, some of the spells that he put out, and how he used them through the English language, it's, you know, and matter of fact, a lot of, like Chris talked about, a lot of 80s and 90s rock stars, even some rappers, give some sense of praise or recollection to Aleister Crowley.
Mm.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm with you on that language, bro. There was a time there where I was doing my best not to understand English, because I felt like even when I talk to my kids, like when you look into the root word of nice, it means foolish. Like I have a book, of etymology book, which is of root words. A lot of root words we use every day did not start out with the definition that we know them as now.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So
No, not at all.
when I teach my kids to speak, they speak a little bit different, just due to what I believe could be a curse or some type of negative word against us, or
What's
against
that?
somebody else. Well, just like the word nice, nice means foolish. So when you say,
Yes.
"Oh my God, that's so nice," you're really saying, because subconsciously your mind or your conscious still understands what that word means because we're millions of years old. We
Right.
might act like we play dumb as we don't know, but because of what we've been educated. But really, when we start to dive into the deeper part of you, that subconscious, these certain words and certain things people say to you just won't resonate. And I matter of fact, I could be talking to somebody and rebuking them all at the same time. because I'm not going to allow that wordplay to be put on me or my family.
When I think about it, I don't really use the word nice unless I'm actually demonizing it. The only time I actually use the word nice when I think about it. I like the term, don't be a nice man, be a good man.
Right. Yeah. And that's probably why. I mean, it's probably why, because subconsciously you know what it really means, and so you choose not to use it or even put it in your vocabulary. So I believe, I kind of like they talked about the frequencies and memories
Yeah.
and abilities. I feel like that, even in the book we talked about reincarnation and biology. You know what I mean? They say between 0 and 12 years old you're able to remember your past lives. And Dr. Ivan Stevenson was able to interview kids from 3 to about 12 and actually have factual documentation based upon their previous lives. You know what I mean? And so I do believe those memories play a huge role in our everyday abilities.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool.
You've been quiet, Robert.
Oh man, I'm just listening, King. Y'all have at it. I'm listening, King. All great stuff, no doubt about it.
Hey, can I ask one more question about Sunday,
Yeah.
the book club? I know you changed it to 8:45. Is Sunday the only day that we can do that podcast?
What you thinking?
Maybe Friday night or Saturday night. I don't know if it takes away from anybody's home life. I mean, I want to keep on, like, it's just I get up at 4:00 in the morning, and but Wednesdays I changed. I'm trying to change my schedule, but tomorrow I don't have business hours tomorrow. Wednesdays are my non-business hour days, so I can sleep in tomorrow. It doesn't matter how late we stay up on Tuesday nights.
You changed your schedule for Wednesdays because of this? Because of
I did.
Tuesday night?
I did. I changed my business hours so I could do this. Yeah.
Okay. But something for discussion for sure.
Yeah.
And we can still do it Sundays. I don't know if you wouldn't mind doing it earlier. I don't know how you guys' Sundays work. But yeah. But if not, it's still good. We're still good. If not.
What do you do in the daytime, Haru? What are you doing on Sundays in daytime?
Well, so sometimes I do my services, but right now I am just to the fact that we're so busy with our security company. I'm taking a step back, so my Sunday should be pretty free after this Sunday for sure.
Okay.
But like I said, just you guys let me know. I'll make it happen. If I had to do stuff in the evening and do the call in the morning or whatever, just let me know. I'll make it happen.
Okay. Okay, so we got what'd you say, Chris? You said Friday and what?
I mean, for Friday night or Saturday night, I mean, that doesn't bother me. We can do it. We can still do it Sunday. I mean, if we could make it just a little bit earlier. And I like Tuesday nights being the open mic night because we can. I mean, we've already a little over 2 hours in.
Yeah.
But which I enjoy that. But maybe I know you might put your kids down. I think that might interrupt you putting your kids down to bed.
Well, no, it's something to think about because I'm here. My wife's at work, so on Tuesdays, well, both podcast nights, I'm by myself, so it's balls to the wall for sure on both
Right
of
on.
those nights for me. So, no, I'm not opposed to that on Sunday. It might actually be a better deal for me because it is school night and having to. I mean, it's balls to the wall.
Yeah.
So it's 4 kids, and so there's something to think about. So we're looking at Friday, Saturday night, and maybe early Sunday.
And we can still do Sundays if we can make it maybe like 8:00.
Well, hell, if we can do it earlier than that, if even in the daytime, if that's something that everybody could do as well.
Yeah, I could do daytime. Yeah, I could do daytime.
That way, maybe those Sunday nights won't be so daunting.
Yeah, I'm down.
I think let's sit on it and think about it before we make a decision.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, but so we can.
Thank you guys for thinking about it for me.
Yeah, no doubt, brother. I mean, you're accommodating us as well. So I mean, you rearranging your schedule. It goes both ways. Um,
No,
yeah. So I think after this one, we're reading this one right now. So we'll go to this one, and then we'll go to this one, and then
so those two have authors.
no, I think C.R. Ashbery is not an author.
Okay.
With this one, yeah, this one is John Henry Clark. Yeah, he's a famous author for sure.
Right on.
What
Yeah.
is that one? What is that one, bro?
African Glory.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, African Glory. And then we'll do the Ghana Empire. It's pretty good. And then we'll go into the Kush Kingdom.
Right on. And
Okay.
What'd you say,
and
Chris?
is Ashbury, is that like a digital editor company?
You know, it might be. It might be because I know you mentioned that before in one of the other books, and it might on the Ancient Africa, the Captivating History.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may be. It may be. They're pretty good books. And I think after these, we'll probably take a different direction as far as moving into, maybe a little bit more to modern times, colonization and the transatlantic slave trade and some of the figures closer to our date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the book. There's a lot of information in the
It's a
book we're
lot,
reading
man.
right now.
It's a lot.
But I personally, I do enjoy the books that have authors better. I like having a little personality in the book.
I got you.
You know,
Yeah.
kind of getting other people's like the book. It's just information. There's not really a perspective
True.
given. You know, I really like the Jackson book because it gave a perspective of a human and how he felt. You know, his feelings, but alongside facts.
And so those two books, they are very factual. They are very
Yes.
factual. They're not too much opinion on. Oh, they're good now. But I hear
Oh,
what you're
yeah.
saying. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
They're very good. But outside of that, the rest of them are, if I'm not mistaken, are author driven. So,
You already have all the books we're going to be doing for the year?
absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I already got them. So, yeah, that's what we got coming up, Corey. And like whenever you're ready, King, let us know.
Right on, right on. And I think it'd be really cool if we all got this background. If we could all eventually run this.
Yeah.
Give me a couple weeks.
Right on, right on.
Yeah, give me a couple weeks. I'm upgraded.
I think it'd look good on all of us.
No doubt.
And do you like it, Robert? I mean, this is your what you came up with.
No, I like it. I think Haru came up with the initial.
Yeah.
The initial.
Okay, so this is your design?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So the only thing, so you like, I mean, it's, the words are a little bit thicker. So I wanted to make sure you guys approved of it before I put it out in public, because it is slightly different than the one you had.
Oh yeah, no, I like that. I definitely like
Right on.
Yeah, definitely.
All I did was I just went on YouTube and then I screenshot the circle logo and then I put it into ChatGPT and asked it to regenerate the photo in a clear image. And then I asked it to give it like 4 or 5 different options and color schemes.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I definitely like it.
If everybody wants to come up with one and we can all vote on that, that's fine too. I like both of them. I like that one too. I like the colors in that.
Yeah, the colors pop on that one. So yeah, whatever y'all down for, I'm down for. We can vote on it this Sunday if y'all want, and start rocking it.
Okay. 10-4 Kings.
All right, Kings.
So what is it, Tuesday? Let's see. Do we need to decide this Sunday? Can we rock? Yeah, can we rock this Sunday and then after that change it, Chris? Would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll rock this Sunday at 8:45, and then after that that gives everybody some time to see what. So it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, early Sunday in the afternoon or so.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll work. I'm down. We'll make it work.
Cool beans.
All right, fellas. We see
Right,
y'all
Kings.
Sunday, 8:45.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right, King.
Oh, hey Mackie,
Yes, sir.
you with me Thursday?
Thursday. Yes.
This Thursday, second Thursday of the month.
Yes.
Then I'm with you next Wednesday.
Yes, sir. I'm with you, bro.
Right on. You get next Wednesday, right? It's with you, right?
Yes.
15th.
Uh-huh. Yes, sir.
10-4. 10-4.
All right, brother. I'll see you Thursday.
All right, Kings.
All right, King.
Love you guys.